Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Day Trader. Coming up in just a few minutes' time, we've got the earnings report tonight for Virgin Orbit. You are in the right place. This is the official earnings for Virgin Orbit. We're very excited to be here. Should be a big night. We're going to discuss before, then we're going to listen into the Virgin Orbit, and then we are going to discuss afterwards. It's a big night tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Sit back and relax, buckle up, get involved, be part of our show, share it, like it, describe it, subscribe it. You can't describe this, folks. You can't describe it. There you go. Got no chance. Give me a thumbs up, smash the like button, let us know you're here. Amazing stuff. We're just getting ready for Virgin Orbit. We're going to bring you everything you need to see. We have the Virgin Orbit price chart here for you. This is my position. I'm waiting to buy more. If it goes down like 20%, I'll pick some up. Very, very nice indeed if it does. We've got Virgin Orbit chart, and we got the official Virgin Orbit slide presentation. You're going to get everything here live in the show. Sit back and relax, share the video, get involved on the Virgin Orbit official earnings. We absolutely love it. I'll see you back in just a couple of minutes from now. As you can see, counting down 13 minutes from now. See you back in a Welcome to the Day Trader. We're getting ready for Virgin Orbit, the official earnings. Very, very exciting night we've got in store for you. We are keeping an eye on the stock price. We're waiting for it to drop. If it does, I'm going to catch it with a big bucket. I love Virgin Orbit. There we go. Here we go. I'm still up 8%. It's got to go down way more before I buy it. I've got 454 shares of Virgin Orbit. And I will pick some up if it goes a lot lower, but it has to go a lot lower. Okay. I don't know if it's going to drop that far down. We'll keep an eye on it. And this is Virgin, the chart, and this is the presentation. We'll bring it to you very shortly. So you are in the right place. Stick with us. Coming up in just 10 minutes from now, the Virgin Orbit earnings. Very, very good indeed. We're very excited. And there we go. We're listening in, and we'll be with you as soon as it begins this evening. Virgin Orbit, you can see the Virgin Orbit price now has dropped. We're keeping an eye on that. Let me fade the music out just a little bit. We're keeping an eye on it. If you've just come on in, please subscribe and ring the bell. Let us know you're here. Smash the like button if you love this channel and you want to help us grow. We're here to help everybody. We've raised over $1 million in the studio for our members, charities, giving it away, and we love helping people. It's what we do. All right. Okay, I'll see you back in just a few minutes time. Don't you dare go far away. Smash the like. Big Meta Energy is here. I look forward to receiving your message on Discord. I want to know what your actual Discord name is though, so someone doesn't take advantage of your account, because somebody will want me to do that for them. So message me on Discord and let me know in the chat here on YouTube which is your username, because people will try to take advantage of that. They always do. Okay, we are waiting for Virgin Orbit to report. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to Virgin Orbit. I am actually going to the Space Centre in Cornwall on the 15th of October. I am going to be there to make a movie. I was funded on Kickstarter and I am going to be there. So very exciting about that as well. All right. Anyway, we'll leave you with Virgin Orbit. I'll be back in just a few minutes time. Don't go far away. And if you want to be with me in Cornwall, you can be at the Day Trader Party on the 15th of October. You send me a $50 super chat or a £50 super chat and you'll be sent a ticket. You can meet on the beach in Newquay in Cornwall on the 15th of October. You can also be in the hotel for the party in the evening. If you want to be involved in the Virgin Orbit making of the film, I'm making it in October. You can be there and you can meet all the traders. There's people coming from all over the world. If you want to be at the Day Trader Convention, you can be there. Okay, if you want to be at that event, it's $50 in the super chat or £50 in the super chat and in the live chat, and I will send you a ticket so you can be there and join me. I'll be there in person, and all my traders will be there as well with you. All right, so if you want to be involved in that, you can. It's very exciting stuff indeed. Okay. Coming up in just a few minutes' time, we'll be right back. Sit back and buckle up. Thank you very much for the warning, Matthew. You've just alerted me to someone trying to pretend to be me in Discord. That happens a lot, and I will go and take care of that straight away. Thank you very much for the warning. If anyone appears in Discord or Twitch or Discord or anywhere, or TikTok or anywhere at all that messages you first, it's never me. I never message anyone. I never sell anybody anything. I'm here all the time to give you things. I never, ever, ever message you and try to do that. So thank you very much for letting me know. And I will get in there now and I will take that person out of the channel. Thank you very much for alerting me to that. We'll be right back in just a few minutes' time with our main show. Thank you. Thank you very much for alerting us to that, Matthew. I have just banned them from the channel. Thank you very much for letting me know. I have hundreds of copycats on TikTok and everyone tries to pretend to be me. They use my same name. And as soon as anyone uses the same name, we ban them. And you all, guys, you always know the real me. One, I never message you. I only reply to your messages. I never sell you anything. I'm not trying to contact you in any way whatsoever. Also, if you look at their roles, I have the role of member. I am gold. They are nothing. They have no memberships. They have no role. On my roles, it says I'm member. I'm the owner, and I'm in gold, and they're not. So just go to the right-hand side of the server and see what their membership status is, and you'll see they have nothing at all. So be very, very wary of that, folks. All right, let me start to get ready now for the earnings. Here we go. Okay, we are just about to go live on the earnings for Virgin Orbit. I can end the timer now. We don't need that anymore. We're ready to go. We'll end the music, so we're all prepared, ready to rock and roll. And Matthew, thank you ever so much as well for letting me know. If anyone has been messaged by that person, please be wary. If anyone is pretending to be me, check that. First of all, I will never message you first. And secondly, check their roles. And they never have the ownership role. They won't have any role. Okay. We're listening in. And the moment we go live with the earnings, I shall bring it to you. It'll be any moment now. All right. Virgin Orbit, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually going to be at the space station for Virgin Orbit making a film. You can be there with me. If you do a $50 or £50 super chat, I will send you a ticket. We're going to be on the beach. We're going to be in a hotel. We've got a party lined up. And we are ready to go. Virgin Orbit. This is the current share price. And we're watching it. I'm still up. I won't buy it until it goes 20% cheaper. Can you check CPRX? I bought 7. Not now, I can't, Logan. We are now doing the earnings for Virgin Galactic. Any moment now. We're just waiting. We're listening in to the earnings and we're waiting for Virgin Orbit earnings to begin. We're listening in, and as soon as it starts, you will have it. We're listening in, and we're just waiting for it to begin. It's scheduled to begin at 3:30 Central Time, which is now. They are now 1 minute late, but it will begin any moment now. Any second now, Virgin Orbit will begin. They are 1 minute late. This is the official earnings for Virgin Orbit. You are in the right place, and they will begin any moment now. We're just waiting for them to begin. Here we go.
Welcome to the Virgin Orbit second quarter 2022 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. A question and answer session will follow the formal presentation. If anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad. Please note this conference is being recorded. I will now turn the conference over to your host, Stephen Zhang. You may begin.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to Virgin Orbit's second quarter 2022 earnings call. Conducting the call today are Dan Hart, Chief Executive Officer, and Brita O'Rear, Chief Financial Officer. During today's call, we may make forward-looking statements. These statements are based on current expectations and assumptions, and as a result, are subject to risks and uncertainties. Many factors could cause actual events to differ materially from the forward-looking statements made on this call. For more information about these risks and uncertainties, please refer to the risk factors in the company's filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which are made by Virgin Orbit from time to time. Readers are cautioned not to put any undue reliance on forward-looking statements, and the company specifically disclaims any obligation to update the forward-looking statements that may be discussed during this call. Please also note on today's call, we refer to non-GAAP financial information that we view as important in assessing the performance of our business. You can find reconciliations of the non-GAAP financial measures with the most comparable GAAP measures in our earnings press release and presentation materials that are available on the investors page of Virgin Orbit's website. With that, I'll turn the call over to Dan.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon to everybody on the line, and thank you for joining us for the second quarter 2022 earnings conference call. Today, I would like to begin with our recent accomplishments across launching our customers, growing our backlog, and driving gains in operational efficiency. I'll end with our upcoming milestones and our key priorities before I turn the call over to Brita for a closer look at the numbers. Starting with launches, we recently executed our fourth consecutive successful launch, delivering 7 satellites to low Earth orbit for the United States Space Force. This capped off 4 successful launches over the past 18 months. System performance has been excellent, with a 100% mission success for all of our operational missions and highly accurate orbital performance for a total of 33 satellites deployed, serving customers across all of our key markets: commercial, DoD, NASA, and the international community. The flawless execution our team has achieved is exceptional for a new launch provider, and we are extremely proud of our team who have worked diligently to bring our first-of-a-kind technology to production. Over these launches, we have proven the versatility and robustness of our system. We've now launched through inclement weather where traditional ground launch systems would have likely scrubbed. We've achieved orbital inclinations for the first time ever out of California. only enabled by our air launch technology. In addition, we've demonstrated rapid payload integration and now operated both day and night. With regard to revenue, we recognized this launch on July 1st, which just fell out of the second quarter by less than 24 hours. However, we will recognize over $12 million in revenue related to this launch in our third quarter results. This is consistent with our guidance of higher revenue ranges per launch as we move beyond early development contracts and into operations. As we increase our production rate, we are also driving efficiency and productivity through expanded automation, improved tooling, optimizing the factory flow, and leveraging our scale to lower unit cost. We're engaging our entire workforce to focus on continual process improvement and affordability, which will drive increasing gross margins. The results have been encouraging as we have been exceeding our projected learning curve. On our most recent mission, manufacturing labor hours were reduced by approximately 25% compared to the previous rocket. Looking ahead, we continue to implement affordability measures to drive greater efficiency. Another measure of efficiency as well as responsiveness is represented by days in launch operations, which were lower by 9% this past mission, with greater reductions expected for the next launch and subsequent missions. Fewer days in launch operations significantly reduces our overall launch costs and drives overhead efficiency, while increasing our launch responsiveness, which is one of our key differentiators. Overall, our manufacturing team is progressing ahead of planned learning curve with plenty of opportunities in front of us. Our next launch will establish Spaceport Cornwall as the first active spaceport in Western Europe. This will be the first launch from UK soil and the commencement of our international spaceport business. As you can see, there is growing enthusiasm across senior leaders ranging from the head of the UK Space Agency, the Air Chief Marshal to the Royal Air Force, leaders across the UK government, and leadership in Cornwall, who all see the importance of this first launch from the UK in their evolution to becoming a fully capable spaceflight nation. This historic launch will provide an example to other countries as they look to grow their space capabilities. We expect the UK experience will be an applicable blueprint to share with other allied nations and will help expedite international launch as we continue to work with global leaders to support civil space, national security, and their local space economies. We've recently added South Korea to our growing list of planned and potential spaceport agreements around the world. We are currently in discussions in 13 countries to potentially provide spaceports and local launch operations. With our differentiated launch capability, we can transform airports into spaceports, capitalizing on existing infrastructure and reducing local environmental impact in stark contrast for what is required for complex ground launch facilities. And for some of these countries, our launch technology is the only option available to enable launch safely from within their borders. Shifting to business development, as we've continued to deliver successful missions, demonstrating responsiveness and reliability, our engagement with customers has evolved accordingly. The demand side remains robust, and we've seen strong response from the spacecraft community and notably from established space providers across all markets. Recently, we executed a contract with IQPS, a leading Japanese Earth observation constellation operator, for their synthetic aperture radar satellite. By directly launching them into their specific orbit and on their desired schedule, we will enable them to expand coverage of their constellation. This will allow them to maximize collections and information from areas of key interest to their customers. And in Brazil, progress continues as we established an in-country entity this past quarter. We also received a launch operator's license from the Brazilian Space Agency. We were honored this month to host a cabinet-level delegation at our facility to discuss the path forward to bringing an important new capability to the country and economic value to the region. On the proposal side, in the second quarter, we responded to well over $200 million worth of requests from customers, demonstrating increasing interest in our now proven LauncherOne system. We continue to capitalize on the growing space sector by targeting higher value missions and payloads while also executing on the growing markets of responsive launch, international spaceports, missile defense, and hypersonics. As we pursue high-value NASA and DoD launch contracts, we've made significant progress towards next-level mission assurance certifications to complement our AS9100 certified quality system. And finally, we've announced a diverse set of payloads for our upcoming launch. Joining us on that mission will be the U.S. National Reconnaissance Office and the U.S. Space Force, working jointly with the U.K. Ministry of Defense, along with commercial customers across the countries of the U.K., Poland, and Oman. Now turning to our priorities this year. Our first priority is always to drive mission success through flawless launch execution and fulfill our commitments to our customers. We've completed 2 launches this year and are on track to have delivered 4 total by the end of the year. This leads us to our next priority, which is to execute the first orbital launch in history from Western Europe later this year in Cornwall. This will be a strategic proof point, demonstrating our global reach and unique capabilities. As we ramp up, we will continue to drive company-wide operational excellence, resulting in increased production rate and efficiency. We're encouraged with the improvements in labor hours, cycle time, and cost reductions that have been seen to date and are building on that momentum. We plan to capitalize on our mission success and the rapidly growing space economy to grow backlog. Our performance has been exceptional with 100% mission success through our first 4 launches, and we continue to see strong interest due to the differentiated capabilities of our LauncherOne solution and the Virgin Orbit team. And with that, I'll turn the call over to Brita to walk you through the results in more detail. Brita, over to you.
Thank you, Dan, and good afternoon, everyone. Moving to our financial results on slide 11, our revenue is shown. Our most recent launch, valued in excess of $12 million, was executed within 24 hours of the end of the second quarter on July 1st. Accordingly, and in compliance with GAAP revenue recognition, this revenue will be recognized in our Q3 results. Adjusted EBITDA for the second quarter of 2022 improved sequentially by $15 million and was a loss of $34.4 million, driven mainly by timing of lower launch cost of revenue, which will be recognized in Q3, along with the associated revenue from the straight-up mission, as well as lower R&D and SG&A costs. We continue to drive cost reduction across the enterprise, which is reflective in this quarter's results. Adjusted EBITDA excludes the impact of depreciation and amortization, stock-based compensation, and the change in fair value of equity adjustments. We've included a reconciliation table to adjusted EBITDA in our appendix. Free cash flow for the second quarter of 2022 resulted in a 16% improvement versus the prior quarter, with an outflow of $56 million. This includes $5.3 million of capital expenditures, driven mainly by the progress of our next generation ground support equipment in support of our unique spaceport market position. As expected, we saw an improvement quarter over quarter in cash burn and see this trend continuing throughout the second half of 2022 as our efficiency gains continue to be realized. Turning to revenue per launch, our most recent mission reflected the expected higher revenue from premium value missions as we are moving beyond early development contracts. As we discussed on our previous call, streams, coupled with our reliability, will drive additional opportunities beyond traditional launch and will include maintaining readiness, O&M services, and equipment sales. Our solution uniquely addresses each of these revenue channels. Turning to our full year guidance, we expect to have 4 launches in 2022 as we focus on executing our historic and strategic Cornwall launch later this year. In addition, we continue our progress toward obtaining higher level certifications for higher value missions. Our 2022 revenue outlook is between $30 to $40 million, driven primarily by increasing revenues per launch. In addition to launch, we expect to recognize spaceport revenues as we execute on various studies across the world and start to provide local launch support systems. For free cash flow, we expect an outflow this year in the range of $220 to $230 million. This reflects our continuing focus to reduce cash burn as we expect over $20 million of favorable free cash flow in the second half compared to the first half. Higher launch revenues, combined with cost reduction efforts and improving working capital, will drive continued free cash flow improvements. Finally, I want to touch on cash as we continue to bolster our financial position through a variety of efforts. We are fortunate to have had the strong backing from our largest shareholders, which has enabled us to focus on development, execution, and expansion of our launch solution to open space across the globe. We finished the second quarter with cash and cash equivalents of $122 million, including a capital infusion of $50 million, which we expect to provide sufficient near-term liquidity. We will continue to be opportunistic in the capital markets. Operationally, we continue to win new business and execute on our existing backlog, which will generate cash as we increase launch rate and drive cost reduction, bolstering our gross margins. In addition, capturing new and higher value orders will drive working capital benefits and cash receipts. And with that, I would like to thank you for your time, and will now turn the call back over to Dan.
Thank you, Brita. At this point, we'd like to open the line up for questions.
At this time, we will be conducting a question and answer session. If you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you'd like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Our first question is from John Roy with Water Tower Research. Please proceed with your question.
Great. I had a question on the higher revenue per launch. Can you give us a little more color on why it was $12 million for this last launch? And I know you guided to 6 to 12, but where can that go long term? What is the real kind of factors that drive that?
So I'm sorry, but you dropped out just a bit on my phone. Can you just repeat that?
Sure. So you were talking about higher revenue per launch for the last launch. I was curious as to the color on why that was high and where. I know you guided to 6 to 12, but where can that go long term?
Well, our initial launches were signed before we really had technical feasibility demonstrated. And so you're seeing a reaction to the market as we have steadily proven the technology and then gone into operations and demonstrated the reliability of the system. And so the risk quotient with customers changed considerably over the past 18 months as we've flown 4 times and gotten 33 satellites into orbit. So that's part of what you're seeing. You're also seeing that some customers have additional requirements and needs. Oftentimes, government payloads require some additional aspects of mission assurance or handling of their payloads. And we see some real potential as we go forward to continue to drive towards higher value missions. One of the things we're doing right now, as I mentioned in the call, is we are working to obtain certifications for higher level value for payloads. and you can go and see what, some of the NASA and DoD higher value payloads charge for launch these days, or what the prices are, and that would give you some insight into some of the opportunities that we have, as well as spaceports and launching remotely.
Right. And maybe as a follow-up to that, when you go international, I mean, is that also going to maybe start out a little bit lower on the price because you're obviously it's the first time for international, or do you expect actually that could be on the higher end?
Well, yeah, I mean, as we work internationally and in regions, certainly there is a differentiator associated with flying from the region and being part of the local economy and part of the infrastructure of the country or region, and so there's an opportunity there as well.
Great, thanks so much, Dan.
You bet.
Our next question is from Josh Sullivan with The Benchmark Company. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, good afternoon. Just as we look at the cash burn outlook, and we move from 22 into 23 eventually, where are you still going to be investing, or what are the big cash needs after this year? And then, where I assume volume, but where else might we see some improvement on cash next year?
Most of our focus right now is in ramping. And so, and that has a couple of flavors associated with it. There's actually investing in WIP and in terms of producing the rockets, but also some additional activities associated with laying out the factory. Our feeder lines are in place, but they're being optimized for the full rate. And so we're investing there. We also, have R&D going. I mean, we continue to enhance the capabilities of the system, the rocket, tune our engines, and we'll be responding to the market and our customers and their needs, and making sure that our system is fully satisfying their needs. And that'll help us to drive further market share. So those are the primary areas. Brita, any other comments there?
I think you've captured it quite well, Dan. And we see that the overall cash flow and use will continue to improve into the next year.
Got it. And then the 9% improvement on the launch cost this quarter, what drove that? And then maybe what should we think about the cadence of launch improvements going forward?
Well, we're in this initial phase of ramping up, and as we do, in most aerospace programs, you get a nice learning curve, and so we're seeing that. We're also putting a lot of innovation into how we build the rocket, the tooling associated with it, automating more of our testing and automating more of our transactions in the factory, and all of those are building momentum as we build more and more rockets. I mean, there's a lot of smiling faces right now on Rocket 7 as we push it through integration. I was walking through the factory the other day, and the speed in which integrated testing, for instance, was going is just so much faster than it was, say, on our first rocket.
And then as far as the Cornwall facility, what's driving the timeline there?
Well, Cornwall is a fairly large endeavor in that it's the first time ever launching from the UK. And so there's really 4 or 5 pieces that are taking place. As I mentioned, our rocket is about ready to leave the factory over the next couple of weeks. It'll head up to Mojave, and we'll do a full launch rehearsal. We're also working very closely with the CAA. They're the regulatory agency, essentially the FAA of the UK. And this is the first launch that they've ever done, and so we're working very closely with them. And it's a new process, and it takes a bit of time to go through it. We've got a lot of engagement going there, and it's moving forward but it is new. It's not like with the FAA where they're used to licensing. So that's taking a bit of time. And then as every launch, where the payloads are coming along, and then the last piece is Cornwall has some updates to their airport and the facilities, which are coming along nicely. But it's all those pieces coming together that are driving the first launch in Cornwall.
Got it. And then just one last one. I mean, any notable supply chain issues that you're facing?
We've had a few minor ones, but what's unique and what's really good about the way we're set up is we're very vertically integrated. And so where we've had, say, an electric component that was short, we can go down and make a modification to the avionics box pretty quickly. It's not a matter of coordinating with a supplier. It's really an engineer talking to the floor. And so where we've had, the isolated incidents where we've had a part that was short, we've been able to work through it pretty easily.
All right. Thank you for taking the questions.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Edison Yu with Deutsche Bank. Please proceed with your question.
Hey, please. Just had two fairly quick questions. So the backlog number, obviously quite strong. Do you have any sort of rule of thumb in terms of what you expect to convert on the non-binding backlog? There's obviously been a lot of announcements, but curious if you have any sort of view on how much of that can ultimately become binding.
I can't give you a number on that. I can say, what we're seeing is the momentum building after every successful launch. And so, what we're seeing is stronger and stronger engagement from the most established spacecraft providers and operators, successively as we've proven the system. And so we're actually seeing growth and more reach through RFPs and queries than we've ever seen before. So, I can't really give you a guidance on that as much as saying, the trend is very positive, honestly, through each of the market spaces. I mean, we're hearing a lot of input from NASA, from the DoD, as well as from the commercial community.
Understood. And then there was a comment on the slide that I think you submitted over 200 million in proposals in Q2. How do we is that's not in the backlog number, correct? That would be potential, incremental to that, or how do you think about that 200 million?
That's correct. That would be, adding to our backlog and really focused on our firm backlog and building that higher. So, that's reflective of really what I just mentioned.
Okay. And just one more kind of higher level question. How do you sort of see the competitive dynamics going forward? I think, there's been quite a bit of news in launch across the board. There's been, I think, delays as well, some failures for some competition. How do you view those competitive dynamics?
So number one, as I mentioned in the call, I mean, I am incredibly proud of the Virgin Orbit team. Not only did they move forward and prove out a new technology in launch, but now with 4 launches in place and 33 satellites successfully delivered, it's really well established. And so that's one, a major differentiator between this team and really almost everybody out there. The other aspects that I'll mention is, we are very differentiated in our approach, and it's because of that technology. And so, we have areas that we are penetrating the market in that frankly others don't have access to, whether it's international spaceports and the ability to convert an airport into a spaceport. It's the possibilities and the high-level businesses associated with missile defense and hypersonics and the kinds of experimentation that's done using air launch today, where we can achieve it, in a straightforward manner with our system. And so, those are areas that we're very excited about. The bottom line is it's a small club of launchers that are in operation, and we have differentiation in markets that others don't. So we're pretty excited about where we are.
Great. Thanks for the color.
Thank you.
We have reached the end of the question and answer session, and I'll now turn the call over to Dan Hart for closing remarks.
Well, I want to thank everybody again for joining us on a Friday afternoon. Appreciate you being with us for the journey, and we look forward to sharing our news, our events, our milestones, our launches with you as we go forward into the third quarter. Everybody have a good weekend.
This concludes today's conference, and you may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you.
There we go. There's the Virgin Orbit earnings, and we're very, very pleased with that. That's okay. I was ready to double up my shares. I have 454. I was ready to double up and buy twice as many if it had gone down, but I'm not buying any more. I don't need to. I've got plenty here to reach my $200,000 overall portfolio position in a couple of years. So I'm very happy to own that many shares. That was great. The stock didn't move hardly at all, and that's exactly what you want. It's not a trending stock. It doesn't get involved with memes and silliness and stuff like that. It's a good solid stock, and the spaceport they were talking about, I am going to be there. I am going to be at the spaceport in October, 15th of October. You can be there with me. Alex Sandilands, good evening to you. If you want to be with me for the spaceport, you can be there either virtually or in person. We are meeting on the beach on the 15th of October in Cornwall. We're going to have a get-together. I've got traders, investors all around the world joining me there. It's going to be great. And then we have the party in the evening. And if you want to be there, the whole thing, if you backed the Kickstarter campaign, you will already be in for a free ticket. You've already backed the campaign. If, on the other hand, you didn't, if you give me a $50 super chat or a £50 super chat in the chat right now, you'll be sent a ticket and you can be there. Alicia and Patricia are coming from Italy. I'm going. Tom's going to be there. Ali Tisro, Ali Isles is going to be there. We've got guests from Canada, guests from America, all over the world are going to be there on the 15th of October. If you receive my weekly newsletter as well, you'll also get a discount if you want to stay at the hotel where we're staying. Best hotel in Newquay, and you can get a discount, a 30% discount if you use my name, Martyn Lucas, the day trader. My friend is the owner of the hotel, and he's given me a special deal for all of my members here on the day trader. Very, very exciting stuff. So there we go. We're very excited about Virgin Orbit. Tonight's earnings was fine. The overall position, if we look at it right now, this is the, let me refresh the screen a minute, bring it up to date. And while we do that, we'll look at Tesla, hit $900 again today. It's holding up there right now. Virgin Orbit, if we scroll back down, there you go. They didn't have an estimate because, they're just starting on their journey. But as we can see, the revenue is moving in the right direction. As you can see, we're now heading up. They're still losing money. They're still investing money, obviously. But we're getting up there now, not that far away. A very positive move in the right direction. Also, we were talking about parts and supply constraints doesn't really affect Virgin Orbit very much either, so that's great. And their relationship with Virgin Galactic and Richard Branson is unparalleled around the world. They share the same resources, the technologies and so on, so great. I'm really, really happy with this company. It can make more money actually than Virgin Galactic can. Very happy to own 454 shares. I'm very happy tonight that it didn't drop down. We've held above the $4. Really, really happy with that. Anyway, that's the end of tonight's show. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll be back with you all in the morning for the opening bell. No, I won't. I beg your pardon. That's it, isn't it, from the weekend? I forgot. So, this is your very last chance to get the newsletter, the cash giveaway newsletter. It goes out on Sunday. I won't have a chance to speak to you again. So if you want it, I'm going to give you it one final time. On Sunday at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, and 2 p.m. GMT, the newsletter goes out. Here is the email newsletter. You click on this and it will take you to my secure website. You put in your email. Once you've done that, then you will get this email back here. You need to look in your junk box. It will always go in the junk box because it mentions the word cash prize draw. It is the day trader at martynlucas.com. So make sure that you look for the email, the day trader at martynlucas.com. It'll give you information about the party in the UK on the 15th of October. If you want to be there, $50 or £50 super chat. You can be there. Get the newsletter on Sunday, enter the competition, and you'll be in for next Friday's draw. This Sunday, it's sponsored by the Queen of Self-Braiding, and you too can sponsor the newsletter to share your link, your business, your YouTube channel, whatever it is you want, for just $10. Absolutely great. And this week, it will go out to, I think, 210 people, and it's growing, and it will continue to grow over the weekend. There you go. Fantastic. That's it from me. The overall portfolio looking pretty good. You can see we're now $44,000 up now. VOO is continued to climb. Virgin Galactic has continued. Very, very good. This is Friday. No sell-off Friday this Friday. If you noticed, no sell-off Friday this Friday. The market money has remained in the market. And as I predicted, Arrival has rebounded. Not much, but it has made a recovery. Apple is great. I bought more shares of Apple today, only because I reinvested the dividends. So I have now more shares of Apple than before for free. Coca-Cola is up today, and Johnson & Johnson is struggling at the moment, but it's a very safe stock. I'm not worried about that. It'll come back, and it also provides great dividends to compensate for this stress of the talcum powder saga at the moment. Google doing very well today. I'm up 11% on Google now. Microsoft, I'm up 13%. Meta, I'm up as well. All the stocks are up. Have a quick look at our... not that one there. Our Ethereum, there we go. Ethereum up 2%. Bitcoin is up as well, 1.1%. And BSV is up 0.5%. Right, that's the end of our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all being here. Look out for this video to be edited, which will arrive very soon on my channel. Until then, if anyone says roll the credits, I'll roll the credits. Thank you, guys. See you back on Monday. Let's roll the credits. I don't think there's very much to celebrate tonight, but I will roll the credits anyway, because I always do. Let's go and see who took part in the show tonight. I don't think there's very much to celebrate. Oh, there's a little bit. So we'll just recognize that. It was a quiet show tonight. Not a huge amount of interest in the stock, which is exactly what I like. I don't like all the Redditors and the tweeters talking nonsense. We just like serious investors, and Virgin Orbit is all about the serious investor. So thank you very much to our subscriber of Revel. Tight Teth, I think that is. I can't really pronounce it. We've had a lot more, but only for the public subscribers. So that's it. Thanks for being here. I will see you back on Monday morning. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.